So what do you call yourself? Welcome to the LaTangela Show. Hey.
Hey, what can I do for you this fine day?
This is your destiny. Hot, hot, hot.
Right now.
Welcome to the LaTangela Show. Come on in and enjoy yourself.
Right now.
We gon' party like no one else. Welcome to the LaTangela Show.
Here we are, Doc. You ready? Smiling faces and jazz hands. Is there a doctor in the house? Well, I'm surrounded by beautiful doctors today that are definitely on a mission to make it happen and get it done and pushing us in the right direction because we know that health is wealth and, we're always busy taking care of everybody else and sometimes we forget to take care of ourselves. So thank you both for taking time out of your schedule to be here with us today. How are you?
Doing great.
Doing great.
Look,
Doing great.
In the hot seat on the tan line, representing in a major way, Dr. Thomas and Dr. Boudreaux. I have questions that need answers, so I really hope you all have time on your hands.
Yes.
How is it that you knew this was the line of work, a passion, act of service that you wanted to do with your life?
Well, actually, I always wanted to be a pediatrician because I love kids. I love working with kids. And then when I got into medical school, I realized that kids are very wiggly patients. They don't really sit still. And I also knew I wanted to do surgery. I love surgery. I love working with my hands and fixing things with my hands. I've always loved video games and things like that. And so when I got into medical school, I really loved surgery. I did well on the rotation. But then my first summer after medical school, I ventured into the OB world and I fell in love, and the rest is history. I loved everything about it, delivering babies and taking care of women at all stages of life. So it's like falling in love. That's the best explanation. You're like, I have to do this for the rest of my life.
That's good. And it's so comforting to hear someone in a space that requires so much love and compassion and, an obsession with what you do, because this is ever changing and it's always evolving. There's no one cookie cutter because every patient is different. What about you, Dr. Boudreaux? How did you know that this was it?
Well, very similar to Dr. Thomas, I went into med school thinking I was going to do internal medicine because I love problem solving. And that's a lot of internal medicine is figuring out diagnoses and how to treat. But when I got further into medical school and I was around the OB rotation, I fell in love and I went to work smiling every day. And I felt like I wasn't working. I was having fun. I was enjoying taking care of women from teenage years through their menopause years, and every day was different. We were able to operate and then also see the patients in the office side and just take care of them. And I knew then that if I felt like I was working, this is where I needed to be.
Right,
Absolutely.
right. And your team, y'all always put in so much work that's really informative, and you always include the community. And right now, we're out here in the state of Louisiana where we love a good party. We love to show up and have a great time. And the Mammogram Mambo, the campaign, I need to hear all about it because I feel like I need some beads. I feel like I need some feathers. I feel like I need the soundtrack to get me there.
Yeah.
What is the thought process behind
Who
this?
doesn't love Mardi Gras, right? Everybody loves Mardi Gras. Everybody loves a good party, like you said. And this is one fabulous way that I think the entire community of our physicians at Women's Hospital has ever come together on a purpose to make sure we get the word out to patients to get in their mammogram every year. And it's a fantastic thing to remind everyone every year. If Mardi Gras comes around once a year, so should your mammogram. And it's just been an awesome collaboration to help get the word out and to help these patients realize and remember to get their mammograms once a year.
Right, because in October the world goes pink, right? And
Yes,
we always get those reminders. But what if you missed that pink mark in October and those constant reminders? So let's talk about, normalizing the conversation. What are some of the questions that we should ask around our dinner table to our friends, to our loved ones, to make sure that it's not a forgotten appointment or something that's, just, oh, by the way, I get to it when I get to it.
It's simple. Just bring it up in conversation. Did you get your mammogram? You want to come with me? Let's go together. Make it a family affair. That's when I got one of my mammograms one of my first mammograms was during COVID, and I brought my young daughter with me, and I faked it. I smiled the whole time like it didn't bother me. And when we stepped out of the room, she's like, "Mommy, thank you for bringing me, but you're a horrible actress."
Oh, she knows you, right?
So just, bring everybody that you can, bring a friend, bring a family member, and make it something social. And I think that's also the focus of this campaign is to, kind of sweeten the pot a little bit. None of us like getting mammograms.
Right.
I'm gonna be honest out there. It's not the funnest thing ever, but if you connect it to something that we do love, like Mardi Gras, that's a great messaging, a great campaign, and so that's why we're promoting it.
You brought up a very valid point about, I was afraid to do it. Even as a doctor, even as an adult, we still have those fears, we have those uncertainties, but we have to be too afraid of not getting it done, of not having the early detection, of not asking the right questions. If we're not having those types of conversations for early detection, we know that the risks are a lot higher. Dr. Boudreaux, what are some of the things that you would say to encourage people to make sure that they know their family history?
Well, first of all, come in and talk to your gynecologist. No matter who you see, come in and they can help you determine what your risks are of breast cancer. I don't care if it's been 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. Don't be embarrassed. Come in every year and talk to them, and we can help the patient to determine what their lifetime risk is of developing breast cancer to where if they need to be monitored even more than once a year. Some women out there do need more evaluations, sooner appointments to come in to make sure that everything is going okay. So, I mean, don't be afraid to come in and talk to your gynecologist.
What's that magic number? We hear 40 floating around, but for that first mammogram, setting that first appointment, because when you turn 16, you're thinking about your permit. You turn 17, you're thinking about all these other things. And 21, you're thinking about, so what is the magic number for us to start getting the mammograms?
40 is still the magic number. So 40, when you turn 21, you're legal. When you turn 18, you can vote. 40 is the magic number for your mammogram. So again, I would like to reiterate what Dr. Boudreaux said. There are some women, like I'll use myself as an example. We have a lot of breast cancer in my family. And so there are some women in my family that have started getting mammograms at age 30. But again, that's because they've already started meeting with their gynecologist and they know their family history. And so they know that they need to be a little bit more careful about screening earlier. But for the rest of us, for the rest of us average risk women, 40 is that magic number. 18, 21, 40.
Absolutely. Now, if we have some of those walkaways with this mammogram mambo, sometimes we're not setting those appointments, so we really don't know the questions to ask. It's intimidating seeing y'all sit there across from us. People have been in here picking and probing at us somewhere we already don't want to be. Then you walk in with your white coats, and matter of fact. So if we don't know what questions, we're really sitting there like, get me out of here. We for our screenings.
Ask all the questions. The messaging that I have with my patients is, I'm not your mom, I'm not your priest, I'm not your pastor, I'm not your best friend, and this is Vegas. Whatever you tell me stays right here. You can tell with a good gynecologist, if you have a good relationship with your gynecologist, you can tell me any and everything that you wouldn't tell anybody else on the planet. And so it starts first with trust. You really want to trust the person sitting across from you. And if you don't feel like you can trust that person, then maybe you're not with the right person. And it needs to click just like any other relationship in your life, just like your best friend, just like your husband or your wife or your partner. That relationship with your gynecologist is one of the most special relationships in your whole entire life. And so the things that we talk about and the positions that you're in when you're in my office, you are so vulnerable when you're in a gynecologist's office. You're naked, you're in positions that are vulnerable.
Yeah,
and so
that's true.
You really do have to have like the ultimate trust that you are in safe hands and that you're going to be well cared for. And so I tell my patients, we tend to be more honest when we don't have our clothes on. And so I want you to just spill the beans. Tell me everything. We may not be able to cover it all in one visit, but tell me everything. I'm just like an attorney. If I don't know everything, I can't help you.
Yeah, I love it. Dr. Boudreaux, have anything to add to that?
I ditto. And I mean, to echo what she said, absolutely. And, we do try our hardest to make our patients feel comfortable when they come in. And whatever's in those four walls, stay in those four walls in that exam room. And, it is awkward especially for young girls coming in for their first visit. But it's nothing to be intimidated by. We're there to help you. We're there to talk to you. We can play mom, we can play best friend, but we're there to help you. And the more they tell us, the better.
Yeah. With this Mammogram Mambo campaign, you will see it everywhere. You'll hear it on the radio, you'll see it on different podcasts, you see the billboards. You'll even see it probably on some of those trucks going by. It's everywhere as a reminder just to get your screenings done, to remind the ones that you love to have their screenings done. Men, we encourage you to love that woman enough to say, hey, listen, I'm going with you. Let's set this appointment because chances are we have to drag them to their appointment. So make sure that you're keeping her on schedule with her appointments as well. That's a good payback.
Yes.
Now, if we have any other questions that we would like to ask or any other things that we would like to learn about your mammogram mambo, how can we find out the details?
Go to Woman's
All
Side,
you,
the big hot pink website. Well, it's not hot pink anymore. I think it's purple, but woman's.org. It has a wealth of information about classes, about doctors that are available, about all the services, the wonderful services that we have at Woman's. So woman's.org is that central hub where you can find out anything you need to know.
Including the services that you all offer, correct? When you start talking about the mammogram services offered, when we get there, we should have that one-on-one with our gyno and they can walk us through what's best for us.
Absolutely. And
absolutely.
the unique thing about Woman's, which I love, that I can talk about the evolution of how this occurred. But so when we first moved to the new location in 2012, we didn't have everything we needed there, but now we do. We are one of the only places in the country where you can get everything from diagnosis all the way to treatment. So you can
Wow.
go from I have breast cancer to I am in remission all in one place. You don't have to go across town and sit in this horrible Baton Rouge traffic for 30 minutes to get your care taken care of. Everything you need from your mammogram to your surgery to your radiation to your chemo, everything is all in one place. And that's because of the vision and leadership of the medical community at Woman's. We want you, cancer in and of itself makes you a victim, and we don't want to victimize you twice by making you travel all over creation to get the care that you need. So everything you need to take care of your breast cancer, to take care of your family, even counseling, cancer services for your family members, all of that can happen in one central location. And I love that about us.
Absolutely. And one thing I do love about your entire team is that the wraparound services, they include everyone because it does take a village, and even for those information sessions that you offer to the public, it's important because chances are we're not hearing it enough because we have so much other static. Not that you're not saying it, it's just so much static. So once you get through the static, we're really good to go. And breast cancer, if you start talking statistically, what does that look like for women?
1 in 8 women have breast cancer. And the shocking information is that most women who do have breast cancer have no family history.
Wow.
So just because you don't have a family history does not mean that you cannot develop breast cancer. So that's why it's so important for everyone to come in at least once a year to establish that risk factor, but also to get the care and the screening that they need because it's that prevalent.
Absolutely, yeah. I just want to echo. So only 15% of breast cancer is related to your family history. The rest of us, 85% of us, age is probably the only remarkable risk factor for breast cancer. So, your risk for breast cancer is higher at 50 than it is at 40, higher at 60 than at 50. So it's just important to get into your doctor's office and get those mammograms once a year and call it a day.
It is. If you have questions, now is the time to ask the questions. I know it's Carnival season. We're going to party, but we're going to do this mammogram mambo because it is important. And I love the fact that you all want to bring the celebration of life and to encourage us to live our best lives. And the only way that we can do that is if we stay in tune, stay connected, and check on our neighbors. So neighbor, oh neighbor, if you have not had your mammogram yet, what are you waiting on? It is Carnival season and the mammogram mambo. Even after Carnival season, they'll still be offering mammograms. But I just want to remind you now to go make it happen and get it done. Dr. Boudreaux, Dr. Thomas, y'all are the real MVP. And don't you dare let them tell you different, okay? Absolutely.
So I also wanted to say, we as women tend to be at the bottom of a very long list.
Mhm.
Your mom, your children, your husband, your friends are at the top of that list, and you're at the bottom. And so for me, my impetus, I'm a single mom. I have 2 kids. One of my kids has special needs. And so I honestly really don't like getting my mammogram. But what I do want, and what I do know as a physician, is that the earlier that they find the breast cancer, the more likely I am to not need painful, life-altering treatment or to even die. And so for me, I go once a year for my kids.
Yeah. What is your why? That's
Yeah.
big. We have to ask ourselves that. Dr. Boudreaux, parting words.
Same thing. If mama's not happy, nobody's happy. So you got to take care of mama first to be able to take care of everybody else. And also I just wanted to also say that breast cancer doesn't discriminate against age. So don't not come in until you're 40. My youngest patient was 28 that I diagnosed with breast cancer 6 years ago, and
Wow.
she's now 6 years into remission and doing great. And we found it at stage 1. So the earlier you can get in, the better it is, but don't wait until you're 40. Come in when you're 21. Start coming into your annual visits, your breast exams, and then when it's appropriate based on your family history and your history to get those mammograms every year. So
Yes. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. This is an extension of your office. So whenever you have anything going on, feel free to tell them, look, I need to jump in the hot seat on the tan line, and we're pulling up or we're dialing in. Either or, we're going to get it connected, okay? I know you have more work to do. So I'm going to let you chase the sun or let the sun chase you. But either way, get after it. I love y'all, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it.
thank you for having us.